They say black women are sassy. That's what they say about black women. You know, that whole sassy thing is, women are normally black women. You will see many of them have a tendency to talk with their eyes, maybe talk with their neck. And so they're very expressive, right? Very expressive. So people look at that and they're like, man, they're always so sassy. They always got to do all of this extra stuff. I always go back, if you look at my videos, I always talk about that when the other cultures, the other women do it, it's labeled differently. It's not so negative. It's like, oh, they're fiery. They got that, gosh, these bugs. They got that little bit of spark, a little spunk in them, right? But for a sister, oh, they're sassy. And then for the knucklehead dudes who are with sisters or had experience with sisters, all of a sudden they want to talk about that they don't like sisters speaking to them. They need to know when to talk. Every culture has someone who's going to be where they're going to give you a little bit of grief. Or they're going to say things that they don't like. It's no different from sisters. It's no different from sisters. Now, maybe you're just a man who likes to talk to submissive women. You don't want to hear nobody talk back to you. Then you go get you a submissive woman. That's all. Go get yourself a submissive woman and be good. My sisters, who may have the quote unquote sassiness about them, that's a part of their characteristic and what they want to express and how they want to express it. And we know that some of that is part of the culture. And we know that a lot of that, sometimes it comes from a good place of trying to warn you about something, to let you know that, listen, you need to listen to me, or else I told you so when it happens. It's just a form of animation with some sisters. Now, can it be toned down? Again, as I've talked in other videos, there's a time and place for certain things. Can it be toned down? Yeah, there's times where that could be toned down. It's not necessary in certain situations. It could be kept between the couples, but we always know that there's going to be some ignorant folks that are in the culture, just like any other culture. They're going to be ignorant folks that you see. What I'm trying to get through you all's head is what's promoted is the negative aspect of our sisters. Sometimes that expressive and that animation is just a code. It's a code, a part of the culture. It's just, they're signs. They're like, Morse code signals for certain things. Oh, it's time to go. Oh, something is about to happen. Well, let me get involved. There's just certain things. It's just black culture has its own form of, what is it? The word I'm looking for. Communication. Own form of communication. They've talked about before, way back during slavery, where, Slaves used to braid their hair or get their hair braided. And through their hair being braided, they were mapping out the designated lines of the pathways of what you needed to do to escape. And that just is stuff that is just a part of the DNA. So as I say again, being sassy, that's the negative word to try to denigrate our sisters, my sisters, that they shouldn't be that way. And again, I'm always a person who says that there's moderation. There's a time and place. Would I necessarily accept it myself? Depends on when it is, when it's being done, where it's at. But to then group all my sisters in and be like, oh, that's the label when you see them. Oh, yeah, see, they're always sassy. That's the stuff that I'm getting at. You don't necessarily understand where that part is coming from or what's happening during that particular moment. And so it comes off. That's the word you give it. But give that same energy and give that same label to the other cultures too. For some reason, my sisters get hit with the most negative depictions of being a certain type of way. Because those are the things that are portrayed, that you see that are being promoted more often. But the other cultures, when they do it, it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. Double standard, as we know. But again, our sisters, they got their own languages. And they're going to talk in certain ways. And that is going to be body movement. And if you're a part of the culture, you kind of know where that's coming from. I don't ever want to condone anything that negative that comes out of that. Negative that happens out of that. I don't ever want to condone that. Because that's not warranted at all. Any of the ones who want to showboat and want to do all of the different types of things that to get attention and do all of this extra stuff, nah, that stuff is not cool. But when it's warranted, when that time comes where you need to be expressive, you need to be animated because you're talking in code and you're letting your partner know, you're letting your friends know, you're letting your family members know. If we could only be unified, and do it for what's right and what's just to advance our folks to where we can empower ourselves, that would be the ultimate. But anyway, like I always say, I'm gonna catch you on the next note. Peace out.